Charles in the other room in his live talking to other women. I don't listen. My man is not going nowhere, okay? I don't care who you talking to, beauty queen. I know I ain't no beauty queen. And I see some beautiful, beautiful women that can't get no man. Because that's their attitude. Well, you asking me that question. Charles is his own person.
The unthinkable just happened. And trust me, you won't believe how messy this is. Mrs. Netta, yes. The same Mrs. Netta who built her online image on class, loyalty, and the perfect relationship just got hit with the kind of public embarrassment no influencer ever wants to face. And the person responsible? None other than her own man, Charles. That's right, Charles can't seem to stop himself from constantly talking to other women online. Late-night DMs, suspicious comments, even friendly likes that don't look so friendly at all, and now the screenshots are everywhere. Mrs. Netta is being dragged into a storm of humiliation, with fans asking one question. Is Charles really just being friendly? Or is this the beginning of a full-blown betrayal? But here's the twist, insiders say this isn't the first time Charles has embarrassed her. Alleged leaked audio reveals Mrs. Netta begging him to stop, only for Charles to double down and make things even worse. Some fans are calling it toxic, others say it's karma, and now the internet is completely divided. And trust me, what happens next is even crazier. Because the DMs aren't the only thing leaking, there are receipts about Charles's secret conversations that could destroy everything. For years, Mrs. Netta has carefully crafted her image as the woman who had it all. Her followers saw her as the embodiment of loyalty, patience, and that dreamlike relationship people scroll endlessly hoping to find. On Instagram, she posted glowing selfies with Charles, showing off vacations, expensive dinners, and those little just because gifts that made people believe she had locked down the man of everyone's dreams. But behind every picture-perfect post, there was a storm brewing, a storm that insiders claim had been rumbling for years. Charles wasn't always the polished family man Netta's audience grew to adore. In fact, according to some of his old acquaintances, Charles had a reputation long before Netta ever introduced him to the spotlight. He was known for being charming, smooth with words, and maybe a little too comfortable sliding into DMs. That behavior might have been brushed off as harmless flirting back then, but now, with Mrs. Netta's platform growing, with millions of eyes watching every move, it turned into a recipe for disaster. At first, fans only saw small cracks. Charles would post a funny comment under another woman's photo. Nothing too wild, just enough for people to raise an eyebrow. Netta defended him, telling her audience that Charles was just playful, that they had a strong bond no one could break. But as time went on, the whispers turned into screams. Screenshots began to circulate, Charles messaging women late at night, dropping heart eye emojis under selfies that looked far from innocent. And here's the kicker. According to alleged leaks from one of those very women, Charles didn't just stop at friendly compliments. No, he allegedly crossed the line with suggestive messages that fans claim prove he was entertaining the possibility of something more. "You look way too good to be posting like that," one leaked DM read. "Don't make me pull up." Whether real or fabricated, those words spread like wildfire. For Mrs. Netta, the embarrassment wasn't just about the messages. It was about everything she stood for being ripped apart in real time. She had sold the story of loyalty, of trust, of having that one man who would never humiliate her. Now, every screenshot was another dagger, every whisper another headline, and her brand, her entire identity was suddenly at risk. And here's where things get even more complicated. Sources close to Netta claim she had warned Charles multiple times. Alleged audio recordings quietly passed around fan forums capture her emotional pleas. "Charles, please. I can't keep defending you. You're making me look stupid out here." But instead of stopping, Charles reportedly laughed it off, telling her she was being dramatic. Meanwhile, fans began digging deeper into Charles's past. Old flings started coming forward with cryptic posts. "Once a player, always a player." One wrote, "Some of us knew this day would come." Every little breadcrumb added to the picture that maybe Charles never really changed, And maybe Netta's perfect relationship was built on denial. This wasn't just an online embarrassment anymore. It was a ticking time bomb threatening to blow up everything Mrs. Netta had built. The endorsements, the brand deals, the trust of her loyal followers, all of it was at stake. And Netta knew it. That's why she doubled down, posting videos about loyalty and trust, trying to get ahead of the rumors before they spiraled. But instead of quieting the storm, her words only fueled the fire. People weren't buying it. They wanted answers, and the more Netta tried to cover for Charles, the more suspicious it looked. The cruel
I would talk to other women. I don't listen. My man is not going nowhere, okay? I don't care who you talking to on the live. I don't care. That's why our relationship is good. I'm not an insecure person. Everybody be thinking I'm so insecure, I'm jealous of Charles and this and that. That's not the point. That's why I still got a relationship. I don't care. He making money. If he on live and he got them in his live, he making money. The money come here to the house. So I don't care. Long as he ain't out there stripping and hoeing, I'm fine with that. But that kind of money I don't like. But you know, if he in the room talking to somebody on live, whatever, I don't care. I talk to people on live too. I don't bring them in my live because I don't even want that extra traffic and extra BS. But that's just his way of doing whatever he got to do. He bring home a check too. So why not? So y'all just mind your own business and just keep it moving. That's the Facebook people I'm talking about, y'all, to be real with y'all. Y'all know my people over here on YouTube, they good.
irony. Netta's embarrassment wasn't coming from a stranger or an enemy, it was coming directly from the man who promised to protect her. And the internet loves nothing more than watching a perfect couple fall apart in real time. Fans started comparing them to other couples who had crumbled under the spotlight. Memes flooded Twitter. TikToks mocked her with clips of Charles's alleged DMs overlaid with sad love songs. But the real kicker, just when Netta thought the damage couldn't get any worse, insiders say there's a second wave of leaks, one that doesn't just show Charles flirting, but something far more incriminating. Something that could prove once and for all that Charles wasn't just talking, he was acting. And if those receipts see the light of day, Netta's entire legacy, her reputation, and her brand might be finished for good. The night it all unraveled wasn't supposed to be anything special. Mrs. Netta had gone live on Instagram to promote a new skincare brand collab, smiling brightly, glowing, and pretending like the rumors floating around were nothing more than jealous lies. Her loyal fans were flooding the comments with love, hyping her up, telling her she was an inspiration. But then mid-livestream disaster struck. A fan suddenly dropped a bomb in the comments. Netta, is it true Charles is texting other women right now? The energy shifted instantly. Her smile froze. Her voice cracked for a split second, but she tried to keep it moving. Don't believe the lies, y'all, she said, laughing nervously. But before she could finish, another comment popped up with actual screenshots attached, and this time, there was no denying it. The screenshots showed Charles messaging a woman late at night, telling her, "I wish I was laying next to you instead of here," followed by a series of heart eye emojis. The live chat exploded. Thousands of viewers screen recorded it instantly. Comments poured in. "Girl, he's cheating in 4K. How are you defending him when he's disrespecting you like this? We warned you, Netta." Netta's face said it all. That confident influencer mask cracked wide open. She stammered, closed her eyes, and for the first time ever on camera she looked defeated. But here's where the twist gets even darker. Within hours of the live stream ending, an anonymous account uploaded a full folder of alleged DMs and voice notes supposedly from Charles. In one audio clip, a man sounding eerily like him could be heard whispering, "Don't tell Netta. She doesn't need to know about us." In another, he allegedly promised a woman, "As soon as I get this brand money, I'm flying you out." The internet went insane. Twitter threads were dissecting every syllable of the audio. TikTokers were lip-syncing to the leaked messages, mocking Charles, and dragging Netta for playing dumb. Hashtags like #CharlesExposed and #PrayForNetta started trending overnight. Fans who once adored the couple now turned vicious. She built her brand on loyalty, and look at this mess. One viral tweet read, another said, Netta is embarrassed worldwide right now. This is worse than any scandal we've seen in years. Netta tried damage control the next morning. She posted a long, emotional Instagram story claiming the leaks were edited, fake, and designed to break her. She cried on camera saying, "You guys don't know the whole story. Please stop believing lies." But the tears didn't stop the chaos, because while she was begging for sympathy, new receipts were still dropping. The real shocker came when a woman claiming to be Charles's friend released a video of her own. She looked straight into the camera and said, "I'm not here to start drama. I'm here to tell the truth. Charles has been lying to Netta for months. He's been talking to multiple women, and I've seen it with my own eyes." She then pulled out screenshots of FaceTime logs showing late-night calls between her and Charles. The betrayal was no longer speculation, it was confirmed in the public's eyes. And Netta, she was left humiliated on a global stage. But just when people thought it couldn't get worse, the first major twist dropped. Insiders leaked that Netta had known about Charles's behavior for months but chose to cover it up because she feared losing brand deals. According to a source close to the couple, she told her inner circle that as long as the money kept coming in, she could forgive Charles for his mistakes. But she didn't realize the public receipts would ruin everything. That revelation flipped the narrative completely. Suddenly, fans weren't just dragging Charles, they were turning on Netta too. People accused her of being fake, of selling a fantasy while hiding the ugly truth. Comments shifted from sympathy to disgust, so she knew all along. Embarrassing. Not her crying on live while protecting him the whole time. Netta's empire was collapsing from both ends. On one side, Charles had embarrassed her with reckless behavior. On the other, fans were calling her complicit in her own downfall. And that's when another devastating leak dropped, a supposed group chat where Netta allegedly told her friends, "As long as the checks keep coming, I'll deal with whatever Charles does." That one message changed everything. Netta was no longer just a victim. She was now seen as a co-conspirator in building a lie for profit. Her embarrassment turned into public shame. The internet mocked her, brands reportedly paused deals, and even some of her closest influencer friends unfollowed her in silence. And Charles, instead of apologizing, he fueled the fire. He went live on Instagram smirking, shrugging, and saying, "Y'all believe everything you see online. I ain't gotta explain myself to nobody." Netta knows what it is. That one statement sent the internet into full meltdown. Viewers called it the most arrogant display of gaslighting ever caught live. Others said it was the final nail in the coffin for the couple. And Netta, she didn't appear by his side. For the first time, she went completely silent. No posts, no stories, no responses. Her silence only added to the speculation. Was she planning to leave him? Was she negotiating with brands behind the scenes? Or was she simply too embarrassed to face the public after everything came crashing down? The story had spiraled so far out of control that it no longer felt like just celebrity gossip. It felt like a televised implosion, the destruction of a woman's brand, reputation, and image in real time. And yet, the biggest shocker was still to come. Because behind the chaos, there was one more twist waiting to surface, a twist that would drag Charles and Netta into an even deeper scandal than anyone imagined. The internet thought it had seen the worst of it. Netta humiliated, Charles exposed, brands pulling away, but little did anyone know the scandal was about to detonate again with a second twist that would make everything look tame by comparison. It started with a viral Twitter thread posted by an anonymous account named @TDropperx. The thread was titled, "The Truth About Charles and Netta, It's Deeper Than Cheating." Within minutes, the post went viral, racking up over 2 million views in less than an hour. And what they revealed? Pure chaos. The thread alleged that Charles wasn't just flirting online, he had been running secret cash deals with women in exchange for silence. According to the leaks, multiple women claimed Charles sent them money through Cash App and PayPal to keep them quiet while he continued messaging others. Screenshots allegedly showed transactions labeled with "hush" and "shh." Fans couldn't believe it. Was Charles really bribing women to stay silent while Netta put on a happy influencer fad? TikTok was ablaze. One creator racked up 5 million views breaking down the screenshots, saying, This isn't just infidelity. This is calculated deceit. This is Charles buying loyalty with money that Netta helped earn. But then came the real shocking reveal. Midway through the thread, a bombshell dropped. One of the women Charles allegedly paid off wasn't just some random follower, she was someone Netta knew personally. In fact, she had once worked as Netta's assistant. Screenshots showed Charles allegedly telling her, "I only stayed with Netta for the image. You're the one I actually wanted." The betrayal was so layered it felt scripted. The assistant turned alleged mistress even posted a voice note where Charles's voice could be heard saying, "Netta's too worried about her brand to notice what I'm really doing." The internet melted down. Fans who had already dragged Charles into the dirt now turned on him with renewed fury. Paying off her assistant? That's next level dirty. One viral tweet said. Another read, "Imagine being embarrassed by your man and betrayed by your own assistant at the same time. Netta's done for." Celebrities started chiming in too. A rapper posted on Instagram stories, "That boy Charles moving grimy. Couldn't be me." A reality star went live to say, "Netta don't deserve this. She been lying too." But Charles is taking it to another level. And then came the most brutal blow. Alicia Keys herself, of all people, allegedly liked a shady comment on Instagram that read, "Netta built a fake empire on fake love, and it's crumbling." Fans screenshot it instantly and spread it everywhere. Whether Alicia meant it or not didn't matter. The damage was done. Meanwhile, news outlets pounced. TMZ, The Shade Room, and Hollywood Unlocked all ran with the story. One headline screamed, "Charles bribes Netta's assistant in secret love scandal." Another read, "Netta's fairy tale brand implodes overnight." But while the media dragged her, insiders leaked that Netta was quietly planning something explosive of her own. According to a source, Netta was considering suing Charles for emotional damages and brand sabotage. The insider claimed she told her lawyer, "He didn't just embarrass me, he ruined years of work, and he's going to pay for that." Fans were split. Some rallied behind her, saying this was the strong comeback move she needed. Others rolled their eyes, calling it desperate damage control. So now she wants to sue him? She knew about the cheating months ago. Too little too late, one commenter wrote. But the saga didn't stop there. Late one night, a new mysterious video surfaced online. It allegedly showed Charles at a nightclub, whispering in a woman's ear, holding her hand, and laughing. At one point, the video caught him saying, "Netta's nothing without me. She's finished." Once this gets out, the timing couldn't have been worse. Because only hours before, Netta had posted a long emotional caption on Instagram about finding her strength and rebuilding. Fans rushed to her comments with support, but the nightclub video completely derailed the sympathy wave. Suddenly, the narrative shifted again. Was Netta truly the victim, or was she just clinging to a sinking ship while Charles openly mocked her behind her back? And then came the second massive twist nobody saw coming. Leaked emails allegedly showed that Charles had been pitching brand collaborations behind Netta's back using her name, her brand identity, and her audience numbers without her knowledge. In other words, he wasn't just humiliating her in private, he was allegedly profiting off her career in secret. The emails, supposedly sent to a skincare company, read, "Netta and I would love to partner on this project. I can secure posts on her page and manage her content calendar." The problem? Netta reportedly never agreed to any of it. According to the leaks, Charles was trying to cut his own side deals while leveraging Netta's influence. The backlash was brutal. Fans accused him of being a scammer, a manipulator, and a cloud chaser. One trending TikTok stitched his live smirk video with the leaked emails, calling him the most shameless man on the internet. Meanwhile, Netta's silence grew louder. Her management released a vague statement saying, "We are reviewing the situation and ask for privacy at this time." But fans weren't buying it. They wanted answers. They wanted her reaction. And her refusal to address the assistant betrayal, the nightclub video, or the fake brand deals only made people angrier. By the end of the week, hashtags like #DumbCharles and #NettaExposed were trending simultaneously. For every fan begging Netta to leave him, There were others saying she was complicit all along. The division was brutal, and the internet was more divided than ever. But the craziest part, a final whisper began to spread, a rumor that Charles had one more secret. One so big it could completely end Netta's career and reputation if it ever surfaced. Allegedly, he was threatening to drop it himself if she dared to sue him, and that left everyone asking the same terrifying question. What could possibly be worse than everything we've already seen? By the time the nightclub video and leaked brand emails made the rounds, the internet wasn't just buzzing, it was on fire. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, even YouTube lives were drowning in chaos. And the reactions? They weren't just loud. They were explosive. On one side were the die-hard Team Netta fans, flooding her comments with hashtag #StayStrongNetta and urging her to cut Charles off once and for all. One viral post read, "Girl, you built an empire without him. Don't let a man with cash receipts drag you down." That post alone hit 500,000 likes in 24 hours. But on the other side, a new hashtag started trending. #NettaExposed. These weren't just haters, they were fans turned critics. They accused her of knowing everything all along and playing the victim to protect her brand. One furious thread read, "There is no way she didn't know about Charles messaging her assistant. She was complicit. She just didn't care until the money started drying up, and the division only deepened when celebrities began picking sides." A popular R&B singer jumped on Instagram Live, visibly angry. "As a woman, I feel for Netta, but as an artist, I can't stand by the fakery. If she knew about Charles and still used the relationship to sell her perfect life, she scammed her fans." Comments flooded the live. "Exactly. She lied to us for years." Meanwhile, a reality TV star defended her. "Listen, y'all want to blame Netta for her men's trash behavior? That's not fair. He's the one paying off assistants, sneaking into clubs, and cutting fake brand deals. She's the victim." The internet erupted into a war zone. Fans weren't just debating, they were dragging each other. Screenshots of arguments filled timelines. One viral tweet captured the mood perfectly. "We're watching Netta's empire collapse in real time, and the fanbase is tearing itself apart with it." But while fans screamed, the industry was quietly moving in ways that spoke volumes. First came the leaked reports that a major fashion brand, who had previously signed a $2 million deal with Netta, had paused their collaboration indefinitely. An insider whispered, "Brands are terrified. They don't want to be associated with a scandal that involves money laundering accusations and assistant betrayal. Even if Netta's innocent, the stench of drama is too strong." Then a beauty company, who had used Netta's face for their last campaign, unfollowed her on Instagram. Fans noticed instantly. "Wow, even the companies are dropping her like FLIs." One tweet read, racking up 200,000 likes. But the most devastating blow came when a leaked email from a music festival surfaced. The email allegedly revealed that Netta and Charles were supposed to co-host a panel on building love and legacy online. The festival quietly replaced them with another influencer couple. The email bluntly stated, "Given the recent controversy, we feel it would be inappropriate to feature Netta and Charles at this year's event." It wasn't just her fans turning, it was her whole career crumbling. Meanwhile, Charles didn't help the situation. Instead of laying low, he went live on Instagram, smiling, sipping on a drink. He taunted, "Y'all believe everything you see online. Half these leaks are fake. Netta's mad 'cause she can't control me anymore." The comments were brutal. "You're disgusting. Imagine laughing while your girl's career dies. Payback's coming." But the most chilling comment came from a verified account belonging to a female rapper. "Keep talking, Charles. You about to get exposed for real." That cryptic warning set the internet ablaze. What else could possibly be revealed? If Charles had already been accused of bribery, betrayal, and brand fraud, what darker secret could still be hidden? Netta, for her part, stayed silent. That silence became a weapon against her. News outlets speculated nonstop. Talk shows debated whether her silence meant guilt, strategy, or total breakdown. One host dramatically declared, This is the end of the fairy tale influencer era. Netta was the poster child, and now we're watching her become the warning label. And if that wasn't enough, a shocking petition began circulating online titled "Protect Influencers from Fraudulent Couples Like Netta and Charles." Within 48 hours, it had 250,000 signatures. It wasn't just about Netta anymore. It was about the industry, about trust, about how much of what people saw online was real. But then, just when things couldn't get any messier, another insider leak dropped. Screenshots allegedly from Charles's group chat showed him mocking fans. In one message, he allegedly wrote, "They'll forget in a week. They always do. Clout is clout, no matter how you get it." Fans went nuclear. This wasn't just betrayal of Netta anymore. This was betrayal of the audience itself. He was calling the very people who supported him and Netta cloud food. The internet couldn't take it. The backlash hit a fever pitch. Thousands of fans vowed to unfollow, boycott, and drag them both until the truth came out. And yet, the truth still wasn't fully out, because the whispers about Charles's final secret weapon were getting louder. Allegedly, he had evidence that could not only ruin Netta's career but expose something so damaging it could spark legal consequences. As one insider teased, the assistant drama was bad. The nightclub video was worse. But what Charles is hiding, that's the nuclear bomb. If it drops, Netta won't just lose fans, she'll lose everything. The public was horrified and hungry. Everyone wanted to know, what could Charles possibly be sitting on? And would he really be bold enough to release it? Just when everyone thought the storm couldn't possibly get worse, the final twist ripped through social media like a lightning bolt. A mysterious Twitter account popped up overnight, using the handle @TruthLeaks24, and it claimed to have the missing piece of the puzzle. The bio alone sent chills. "When they lie, I upload." Within hours, the account dropped screenshots allegedly pulled from Charles's private email. And what those emails revealed wasn't just messy, it was catastrophic. According to the leaks, Charles had been secretly negotiating with a documentary production company for months. The project? A tell-all expose called "Behind Netta's Empire." The shocking part: Netta wasn't just the star, she was the target. The leaked contract draft, if real, showed Charles agreeing to sell intimate details of their private life, brand deals, and even staged photo shoots for $500,000. Worse, the emails suggested he had already handed over voice recordings of arguments, brand negotiations, and personal confessions. One line from an email hit fans like a punch in the gut. "This will prove the perfect couple image was a complete fraud. The world deserves to see what she really is." The internet exploded. Was Charles about to destroy Netta for profit? And had he really been secretly recording her the whole time? Fans begged Netta to respond. They spammed her comments with, "Say something, Queen. Don't let him ruin you. If this is true, your entire career is hanging by a thread." But before she could even type a word, the @TruthLeaks24 account dropped an audio file. In the chilling 47-second clip, a woman's voice, allegedly Netta, could be heard shouting, "You think I don't know you're using me? You think I don't see the way you fake these deals?" To which a man's voice, allegedly Charles, laughed and replied, "Fake sells. The fans are stupid. They'll buy anything if you smile." The clip ended abruptly, but it was enough to set the internet ablaze. Supporters screamed that it had been edited. Haters swore it was authentic. The hashtags #NettaFraud and #CharlesSnake trended side by side. But here's where it gets darker. Insiders whispered that the leaks weren't just about reputation anymore, they could trigger legal consequences. If Charles really recorded Netta without her consent, lawsuits and even criminal charges could follow. But if the recordings were real and unedited, Netta herself could be implicated in misleading investors and brand partners. Either way, careers, money, and legacies were on the line. And then the bombshell dropped. Screenshots allegedly revealed that Charles was preparing to drop the full documentary trailer on YouTube within 72 hours. The email thread read, "Timing is everything. Once the trailer hits, the industry will never look at Netta the same again." Fans were stunned. Could this really happen? Would Charles dare to torch his ex-fiance's entire empire for views and a paycheck? The countdown began. Influencers made live videos with ticking clocks, counting down to the rumored release. Reaction channels were foaming at the mouth. News outlets ran headlines like, Charles plots career-ending doc against Netta. From love story to lawsuit, Netta's empire on the edge. Will this documentary end an era? Meanwhile, Charles posted a cryptic Instagram story of himself